Picking a niche is one of the most effective things that you could possibly do for your business right now. The beauty of having a niche is that you can actually position yourself as being different from everybody else in the industry. So let's say, for example, we take a look at the mortgage industry. What do you notice that every single broker has in common? They're qualified to do mortgage advice, and they have access to all of the same lenders and can get access to the exact same products for the exact same client. And there's no way for anybody there to actually distinguish themselves from the rest of the competition. And what this may result in, if you don't have any other separate way to distinguish yourself, if you have no notable personality, no notable sales conversion, anything like that that you can actually offer beyond your advice, is that you can speak with loads of people, but you're replaceable and you're dispensable. And they might speak with you, but say, oh, I'm speaking with a couple of other people. I could do this myself, and struggle to find that resonation with somebody to actually get them over the line. And you're simply viewed as a commodity. But being viewed as a commodity isn't what's going to allow you to, number one, write a lot of business, and number two, charge enough money for that business either. An analogy that I'll make for this is if you look at, for example, two separate doctors, one of them's a general practitioner, one of them's a spine surgeon, who's going to make more money? At the end of the day, ultimately, it's going to be the spine surgeon who makes more money because they are spine surgeons. Obviously, they're going to make more for that because they have a specialist set of skills as opposed to being quite literally a general practitioner who specializes across, not specializes, but has a broad amount of knowledge across a wider set of topics, but isn't specialist in either one of those. Ultimately, it's a spine surgeon, they make more money at the end of the day. So if you're watching this and you want to make more money in your business, and you can relate with what I've said so far about feeling like you're replaceable within your business, and you are simply being treated as a commodity who can't charge for the value that they know they can provide, then make sure you listen in. And I want to tell you about how you can actually identify a niche, why you should identify a niche, how you can continue to resonate and set yourself apart in the market, charge the prices that you want to charge, and make the money that you want to make through your business. So let's get into it. Now, who am I? My name is Emmett McCarry. I work alongside mortgage advisors, helping them get more business. With that being said, I want to talk about why niches are actually important in the first place. And ultimately, it comes down to how people actually buy and the reasons that people do anything in the first place. Now, the reason that people do things is to alleviate pain. Almost everything is pain avoidance, right? And there's two different ways that you can go about this. You can go to somebody and say, oh, I have the best... It's really cliche, but take it back to like the sell me this pen analogy. Whenever you say to somebody, oh, sell me this pen, and the person says, oh, well, it's a brilliant pen. It clicks really loud. There's loads of ink in it, so I can like write stuff. And well, it's a really bright blue. So, buy the pen. It's great. That's one way that you can go about sales, and you can just list all the positives and everything that you have to offer. But at the end of the day, if you're speaking to somebody who's sitting there with, £1,000 pen that is brilliant, or you're talking to a really ancient tribe in Africa that doesn't even have paper and doesn't know how to write, then it's going to be completely useless to both of those people. But the more effective way to go about it is to actually look at the hand that you've been dealt and look at the market that you're dealing with and try and appeal to what it is that that person needs instead. So let's say I go up to a group of people, and I'm getting rid of the pen analogy. So let's imagine you as a mortgage advisor and you say, oh, well, I've got 20 years of experience. I work with this many lenders. I've got these qualifications and I'm great. So is fucking everybody. Everybody else is going to say that, you know what I mean? But if you go up to a very specific set of people with a very specific set of problems and you say, let's go first time buyers, for example. Are you struggling to see yourself stepping onto the property ladder? You know that you need a deposit and affordability, but with today's house prices, it just seems so crazy to even position yourself as being there. And you're really confused about how to get started and all the paperwork. They're going to be way more inclined to actually want to listen to you, as opposed to you just saying, oh, well, I'm a mortgage broker. I can do this. I can do that. So the first step is actually understanding how people do things and why people take action and why people are more inclined to want to buy from you in the first place. And it's because people move to get out of pain as opposed to moving to, obviously people do move towards pleasure, but if you position yourself as a problem solver, as a pain alleviator, you'll be able to provide more value to that person. As a result, you can charge more for your service. So when it comes to actually developing your messaging, number one, you need to understand your niche and understand them super well. And whenever I say understand, ultimately, we've just discussed that people typically move away from pain. You want to understand their pains, their problems, the things that they're actually suffering with within their life that you can help solve for them. So you're just going to want to do a list. Think about the niches that you want to work with or could potentially work with and actually figure out what their pains and their problems are. And literally take time to do this. And an easy way that you can do it is just look back at the last 10 conversations that you've had with people within the niche and just look at the biggest objections that they have given you, the biggest question that they've had, the reasons that they came to you, so on and so forth. And this is going to help you really understand where the niche is at and the problems that they're facing and how you can actually help solve them as well. And once you've done that, then ultimately you can actually go ahead and start to develop your brand messaging and how you're going to resonate with these people on a front end, which you can go ahead and do through your content. And yes, I know obviously not a lot of people are, the mortgage industry is getting better at it, but I know that there's still a lot of people who haven't posted on Instagram, Facebook, whatever it may be ever, and don't intend on doing so. But in today's age, when it comes to the way the business is moving, like when was the last time you did an in-person meeting? And like you can rely on word of mouth, so on and so forth. Like you can do that if you want, but if you want to grow your business, you want to actually have a systemized way of doing it, you need to be getting yourself out there online. But understanding your brand messaging and understanding your ICP's pain points and what they're struggling with is what's going to allow you to get started with this in the best possible manner. And you want to just make your content around this. Are you this person struggling with this problem, this problem, and this problem? If so, don't worry, I have the solution because I'm actually a niche mortgage advisor, whatever it may be. And the whole goal with this is that you want to feel like you're quite literally just like reaching your hand through the screen almost and grabbing the person, just saying, hey, you, I know you're struggling with this. I know that you're struggling with this. And I understand the position that you're in. I know your pain points. And that will make the person more inclined to actually trust you. And also trust that you know how to solve those problems as well, because you're going to go ahead and position yourself as the expert to solve that. And what that's going to do is not only will it give you the ability to develop trust and rapport so much quicker, but it'll also give you the ability to charge higher prices too. And a brilliant example that I want to give for this, by the way, is a client of mine, Peter. Peter's been working with me for multiple months, and he is specializing in people who are looking to raise additional cash for two main reasons: home improvements, and just leveraging the existing equity in their property, and number two, for debt consolidation as well. And we can develop two separate campaigns for each, talking to specific pain points. So, for example, let's say someone wants to leverage the existing equity in their property. Are you looking to raise extra cash against your mortgage, against your property? You know that you have existing equity in your property already, but you feel that it's stuck and you can't get to it, and it can be better used elsewhere for things like home improvements to actually increase the value of your property and make the most of what you own, for example. Or if we're talking on the debt consolidation side of things, are you looking to find a more suitable mortgage to help effectively manage your commitments and streamline your finances? You find yourself in a bit of a pickle when it comes to your current obligations and commitments, and you know that you have existing equity in your property that you can leverage, but you just don't know how to go about it and get started. Those, just off the top of my head, those are some pain points that the two of us have come together to develop an effective campaign to actually catch the attention, resonate with, and develop the trust of potential clients in that space who could use his niche service for a niche solution. The only reason that we're able to resonate with these people so well, and he's able to write tens of thousands of pounds worth of business every month, is because he picked the niche, because he really started to understand their problems, develop that messaging over time, and start to build a name for himself in the space. And when it comes to, you might be saying to yourself, oh, well, how do I develop the messaging effectively? Like, I haven't been in the niche for long enough, I don't know. And yeah, by all means, like, you're going to get better at this over time. Whenever you're getting started out, it can seem daunting, but a way that I want you to think of this is you can pretend that you are mining for oil. All right. So if we actually think about like oil fields and things like that, that are, deep underground, and we're trying to drill for oil, right? So the oil's pressurized, we drill into the ground. We know that it's there somewhere. Let's say, for example, we have a 100-kilometer radius under which we know that there is an oil field, but the oil maybe only comprises like 10 kilometers of that 100-kilometer radius. We have, let's split it into 10-kilometer sections. We have 9 different options that are going to be unsuccessful. We're going to need to continue to drill into each of those separate sectors of the 100-kilometer radius to actually find the oil. And this is me using an analogy for split testing your messaging. Think of 9 different pain points, for example, and trial these through your content and split test them to see what does best. And eventually, after trying for a long enough period of time, coming up with different things that your audience actually resonates with, you're going to strike oil. You're going to strike the gold, and you're going to get what you're looking for. People will start coming to you in the same way that people who are mining for oil will be able to extract the value from that oil field. And you'll be able to extract the value from the market as well and get paid well by solving people's problems and giving them the solution that they're looking for. This it's only possible because you picked a niche and because you resonated with people. You're able to differentiate yourself from your competitors and from setting yourself aside as not being a commodity and someone who's actually valuable and can demand respect, can demand good fees from their clients as well, and make the money that they know that they're worth. So ultimately, I recommend that you pick a niche. It's done wonders for me. It's done wonders for my clientele as well. And I think that it can do wonders for yourself too. When it comes to actually figuring out how to do this, there will be a sheet in the description. If you want to go ahead, click on the third link in the description. The third link will be a sheet about how you can actually help identify the pain points that your niche may be facing, the desires that they're looking for, and how you can develop your messaging around that. Second link in the description will be access system softwares, things like that I use to actually help move these clientele and move these leads and inquiries along an efficient pipeline to convert cold leads into new sales. Go high level, 14-day free trial, click on the second link. And if you want someone to do all of this for you, then by all means, go ahead, click on the first link, but there's no obligations because I'm trying to sell something to you, but don't have to call you. I do appreciate you tuning in for the video though. I'd rather that you were here and just extracting the value from the video more than anything. So I appreciate your time. It's good to see you again. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video as well. All the best.